Hey guys, tonight, I know it's a little bit early, tonight, this afternoon, wherever you are, we're joined with CSN's Vid Maric. I know I messed that up, so
Yeah,
Vid, you
no
have to tell me how to
problem.
say your name correctly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. This was actually quite good.
Okay. I'm glad I sort of got close. Now, if I understand correctly, you are the EU admin for the Quake with
Yeah, that's
CSN?
true. Yeah, that's true. The guys picked me up some, actually almost a year ago. No, I don't really remember, but it wasn't that far away. I think it was. I think Steve was spamming over QuakeNet about who wants to. I mean that they were looking for an admin and they're taking applications, and I know a friend showed it to me, Demon, and he said like, yeah, you should do it. Who know, maybe you can do something. And I was like, okay, why not? Because previously I was um, working with ESL, handling their EMS and Quake Live stuff in general, and that was like fine and nothing spectacular. That was my first thing I did, if I remember correctly. So I didn't do my best. Actually, was kind of just learning the ways and getting to know the community. So it was kind of harder. But this thing with CSN, it's quite nice actually. They let me do what I want and when I want, and community is responsive, so they sign up for our cups and play. So it's not bad. I'm happy about it.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little more about yourself, maybe your history with gaming in general, and how you first got in with Quake at all?
Well, I started playing Quake with Quake Live somewhere in, I guess, 2009, maybe 2010. I don't remember anymore. But before, when I had shit internet, when we had like dial-up modems in Croatia, back when Quake got released, I know I always liked the game, but I couldn't play it online. So when I got in my mailing box the news that I got into Quake like beta, I was like, yeah, nice. I'm gonna try it, and I've been playing ever since. And this was, I guess, just in the right time as I stopped with StarCraft Brood War, which I played from, I don't know, 2005 till 2007, 8, I don't know, and I had like 1 year break from games and stuff like that, and Quake just filled the void for me.
Hmm. So I'm someone who hasn't played that much Quake and sort of knows about the Quake scene, only knows a little about the Quake scene. So can you tell me a little more about what makes Quake so enjoyable to watch, to play, to be a part of that competitive scene?
Well, I don't know, for me it was like, even when I was losing, I was under the impression that the game is actually really good, that I just have to learn to play properly. When I got slightly bit better and actually started winning some games online, I was like, wow, what a feeling when you just win against someone. It's kind of, I can only compare it to winning in Brood War, I guess. I mean, it's so difficult, and when you actually win, you feel like you've deserved that win, and it's very rewarding feeling for me. So that's why I kind of stick with Quake. Even though I got really late in Quake for first year or two because it was closed beta and only good people played, and that was a horrible experience actually.
Well, so going off of this, I was sort of curious because again, my quick knowledge is pretty limited. What makes Quake more enjoyable or so strong of a competitive game as compared to some of the more modern FPSs like Modern Warfare or Battlefield 3? Like, what makes Quake? Why does Quake have so much longevity? Do you think?
Well, I think it's because of the community. I mean, there's been same people playing Quake since 2000, I guess, and same community is there on ES Reality, and every new Quake game that comes stays in ES Reality. As far as I know, I'm not that really familiar with what happened before 2009, aside from some VODs that I watched or interviews. But I mean, there's a lot of stories, and uh, there was a lot of there's a lot of good players that people love, like Cooler, Cypher, Rafa, stuff like that. And everyone had something interesting about them. You, I don't know. I think that's the word I'm looking for, but not too sure. And I don't know. Quake is just. It seems that it's like more of not much of a game, but more like some kind of subculture or something, because people are completely crazy about it. I mean, I don't see any modern game lasting that long, because I mean those modern warfare games, or what was it, Call of Duty, I think it's the real name of the game, right? And the rest
Yeah.
are just expansions or something. I mean, the thing is that developers of Call of Duty just pump out every new Call of Duty game every year or so, so people don't really get the chance to stick with one game and play it. And Quake was like, Quake 3 was 99, Quake 4 was in 2004, 5, I don't know. So people kind of stick with that game and didn't have much reason to move on. And there was a lot of LAN tournaments. I mean, yeah, local area network tournaments, and a lot of storylines happened. A lot of, I don't know, legendary players. Let's say it like that.
So I guess something I'm still not quite certain about
Okay.
is that you're talking about how you're comparing Quake to some of these other games, these more recent games that have just expansion after expansion and sort
Yeah.
of die out fairly quickly. But I guess I'm not quite making that connection between why, say, let's just take for example Modern Warfare, that why the people who were playing Quake didn't move to Modern Warfare when it came down with its better graphics and whatnot.
Yeah, because to people playing Quake, it's really not about graphics. It's uh, there's basically, I don't know how to say it. Yeah, I think there's actually no skill cap in Quake. I mean, every now and then some new kid arrives and just wipes the floor with everyone else who was on top until that moment.
Really?
And yeah, I mean, for example, last guy to do that was, I guess, Rafa. I mean, he wasn't that much into Quake 3. I think his first appearance was in ESWC Athens in 2008. I don't know, and he placed top four. I don't really know the exact placements and everything. I kind of forgot that stuff.
Sure.
But since then on, he was like in Quake Live, unbeatable until like last year, I guess, until Cypher got back on his throne.
Huh.
So to me, Quake is like a hardcore game. There's very high, maybe no skill cap, and basically how good you play depends only on you, not on, for example, Modern Warfare. You have to unlock skills, if I remember correctly. I used to play a few games of that,
Yeah.
which is completely stupid to me because we played in some gaming center, and this some bag picked already made account with tons of levels, and we were level 1, and I'm like shooting at him, but I'm not killing him, and he comes and kills me with one bullet. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't want to play that crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the new games are too much nuked down, if that's the correct expression, and it basically the game plays for you. I don't know how to say it better.
Okay.
You,
So yeah. No. So please go ahead.
I mean, you don't have to be that good to beat someone who's new, because you have all those shit upgrades, like, I don't know, better weapons and armors and stuff like that. In Quake, you just spawn, pick up your weapon, pick up your armor, and frag people.
Okay. Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, Quake, everybody starts off every game on a level playing field, and
Yeah,
so what determines how well you do is your skill.
yeah, that's true.
Whereas with like Modern Warfare or games like that, skill, how well you do, everyone doesn't start on a level playing field, and how well you do is also determined just by how long you've played. Because if you've played longer, you get unfair advantages.
Yeah, that's at least that's my impression of Modern Warfare. I mean,
Okay.
like I said, I've played it 1 or 2 times, and it was like, wow, this guy has level, I don't know what, max level of character. We were like level 1. You can't do anything to him. I don't see where's the fun in that. But probably Modern Warfare has some better matchmaking system, and noobs get to play noobs, so no one's really fussed about that.
Hmm. Okay. No,
Uh,
that helps me see it a lot better. Um, Real quick for everyone in chat, we're going to go for the first half an hour, and then we're going to take a quick break. At the end of the first half an hour, we'll try and get some questions in. So if you have questions, be sure to put them in chat, and I'll do my best to get to them. This is going to be a pretty noob-friendly interview because I'm very unfamiliar with the Quake scene. I was trying to do some research today, but there's a lot for me to learn. So, ask any question you guys want to, and we'll do our best to get it asked.
Just don't ask too hard questions, please.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay, no hard questions. Vid, you mentioned storylines a little bit earlier. Can
Yeah.
you sort of tell me about some of your favorite storylines, some of your favorite players, and their backstories?
Well, one of my favorite players are definitely Cooler and Cypher, and Cooler is kind of quite an interesting guy. I mean, he came to the scene when Americans were dominating, and he completely changed the way the game is played. He was like, I think, first guy to just go for the items. He doesn't care what you do. He just picks up items and breaks you. And he was like, on ESWC 2002, he won first place when everyone expected Americans to trash him. For example, 04 or CZM. And nope, that was ESWC 2003, I think. And then he repeated it on 2005 versus CZM, if I remember correctly. So basically, you have then everyone expected Cooler will dominate it, and Cypher appears or Avec appears and just trashes him. Well, Avec was in Quake 4, if I remember. He won versus Cooler in the finals, and that was like, wow, who's this new kid? That he's great, he's fantastic, and stuff goes on. So there's basically a lot of characters, a lot of storylines, people that win when no one expects them to win, and continue to dominate basically the game. Everyone brings something new to the game, like Fuller did with his playstyle. He completely took the player out of the game, focused only on items, and at the time, few people could play against that. So that's why he was dominating, I guess.
Interesting.
And my favorite moment from Quake was QuakeCon 2010. Cooler and Cypher in the finals, where Cooler trashed everyone in the lower bracket after being knocked there by Party, if I remember correctly. And basically that arrow walk that they played was perfect. I mean, Cypher was running away with almost no armor, no items for some 4, 5, 6 minutes versus Cooler to win in the end after 2 or 3 overtimes. That was brilliant. And after that, there was even better ZTN when also overtime. And the last frag could have gone either way. Cypher survived with, I don't know, 6, 7 HP. I don't remember, and won the Quake con. So that was pretty amazing. I really enjoyed that. That was my favorite Quake moment, I think.
Well, so sort of going off of a favorite moment, if I wanted to learn more about the scene, like I'm listening to what you're talking about, I'm listening to you talk about these storylines, and it just sounds like a lot of fun. Where would you recommend I start? How would you recommend I orient myself in the scene?
Well, I think actually the best way is yes, reality.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's not that user friendly. There's a lot of trolls there and everything, but if there's a community that made Quake live till 2012, then it certainly is reality.
Okay. Okay.
I guess that's the best place for people to start, but I don't know, you have to be prepared to take all the insults you might get. Depends how everyone is, in what mood is everyone.
Fair enough. I mean, it seems to be a commonality among video game communities.
Yeah, but that's the real Quake community there. Those are the people that play Quake, I think, since forever, and they're still playing. And even though every now and then someone starts talking about how shit is Quake, what it should do to make the game better and stuff like that, they're still playing it.
Still loving it.
Yeah.
Can I ask actually about your position as an admin? Is that I won't ask about specifics, but is that an unpaid or a paid position?
No, yeah, unpaid position. When,
Is
you
it
know,
okay?
when I was
So,
talking to Steve about that, he was like mentioning some payments when they first recruited me.
mm,
I told him, look, if you want to give some money, give money for the tournament. I'm doing this because I like it, and that's it. I mean, I don't really see esports uh, something other than my hobby.
mm,
And since I like what I'm doing, I don't expect anything from it.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Um, has it? I mean, I want to. I guess I was trying to think of a way to transition here because I want to definitely talk about you as an individual and you as a college student in the second half, but sort of moving in that direction. You say this is just a hobby and it's something you do because you love it.
Yeah.
You're getting closer and closer to the point where you're no longer going to be a student. You're going to be out in the workforce with a job. Do you think you'll still be able to do what you're doing now as a hobby and keep
Uh,
that part of you going?
I don't really know. I doubt it because if I get a full-time job, I'll barely find time for games or even admin. Maybe gaming, yes, but admin takes way more time than just playing 1-2 games per day. So yeah, I don't see myself as anything except a casual gamer after I get a job.
Do you follow any other competitive scenes besides Quake?
I follow. I mean, I really follow Brood War scene, and to me, that's the best game that ever was, and that's the only, for me, only real esports there is. Basically, there's a lot of stories. There's a ton of legendary players, legendary storylines. I don't know. Insane games. I mean, 2005 Pro League finals had 20 or 30,000 viewers in the stands, more than Super Bowl. So that's really a nice thing to be part of. And Team Liquid is it's a nice community, but it's over moderated in my opinion. So I don't frequent there a lot aside from getting the news, who played versus who won, lost, what's next on the schedule, and stuff like that.
Real quick, guys, a reminder: if you have questions, go ahead and submit them. They can be about Vid himself. They can be about Quake, or we just heard he loves Brood War, so we've got Brood War questions. Go ahead and put those up. The only thing Vid has requested is no difficult questions. Well, so I asked you a little bit earlier about your favorite Quake storylines. What's your favorite Brood War storyline?
There's like a ton. I guess my favorite thing is Legend of the Fall because mainly I was a Protoss player in Brood War, and basically that storyline means that Protoss players win OSL only in the fall, and so far that's been 100% on spot. It started with Garimto versus Boxer in 2001, continued with Reach versus Boxer in 2002 OSL, and latest one was Jangbi last year. So even Stork won his OSL in the fall. So yeah, that's my favorite storyline, I guess. And
Mhm.
one of my one of the saddest storylines is definitely Xavier's, I guess. He was such a great player, and I still love watching him play. But man, he did fuck up with that match fixing scandal. So yeah, but
Yeah.
to me that's just proof that StarCraft Brood War wasn't just a game in Korea; it was an actual sport. I mean, game that transpired through the the virtual reality. You know that actually was something like football. I don't know in Western countries.
Right.
So shit happens, yeah, and they moved on. They got even better players than any of those were, like Flash, Jaedong, Bisu. I don't know, a lot of them.
Yeah, it's interesting that I hadn't. I've read a lot about this. Saber actually wasn't there. Following the scene at the time, so I've only read about it afterwards. But it's a really interesting. It's an interesting take on it.
Yeah,
It's actually sort of a more positive take than I'm used to hearing.
yeah. People really hate Xavier. I think a lot of them credit him for almost destroying esports in Korea. But I don't know. I mean, he did fuck up. I'd love to see him play again. I think no one was as dominant, aside from Flash, than Xavier was.
Can I ask you, sort of bringing Brood War and Quake together for a second?
Sure.
Is there something? Is there a commonality between both of them uh, that you enjoy? Like, is there a feature, a characteristic, a quality they both share in their competitive scenes that draws you to both, or do you like them for different reasons?
Hmm. Well, I don't know actually. I think Brood War is much more different than Quake, and I mean it can be compared. But
Sure.
the thing I like about watching Brood War is Korean commentators. I mean, you don't have to know shit about what's going on. When they start screaming, you'll get all hyped up and what did he do? Why are they screaming and stuff like that? So I don't know. It's actually really fun to watch both games. I actually prefer watching Brood War over Quake. Quake can be completely boring because some games can turn into garbage time after 2 3 minutes, and then you have to sit behind your computer, watch the fucking stream, and watch the time count down, even though the winner is decided at the start of the game. But I don't know. What I like about StarCraft in general is that when you see you don't have a chance to win, you write a GG and disconnect next game. But in Quake, I guess that's bad manner to do. I think that's how they view it, because
Hmm.
people really get upset about. They call it rage quits. In my opinion, it just saves time from game to game. I'd give everything if, I don't know, first rounds on major tournaments in Quake, those bad guys just wrote the GG and disconnect and move to the next,
Yeah.
instead of having to wait 20 minutes for them to finish their game.
Right. Right. Hmm. Well, what about StarCraft 2? Have you sort of found an interest in that scene at all, or has it stayed really just Brood War?
Well, I was really excited about StarCraft 2, and when I got the beta, I kind of liked the game, but
Hmm.
not that much. When I got the original game, I actually tried to like it because I liked Brood War so much, but I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, in Brood War, when you win against someone, there's this huge feeling of success, being rewarded because you won, because he was so much, because you were so much better than him. I don't know. In StarCraft 2, I guess that's due to a lot of players playing. So I mean, when I first started playing, I wasn't good at all, but I kept winning because they were really bad. So that wasn't motivating for me to continue playing StarCraft 2, so I just quit the game, uninstall, and goodbye.
Huh. Okay. But you haven't tried it recently at all, have you?
Well, I played, I think, 2 games yesterday, lost both games, and because I was really bad and I'm not really motivated, I just going to the game, and after 10 minutes I get bored and do stupid stuff, and GG, close the game, turn on Quake.
So even though I guess what I was just curious when you mentioned players being bad, I was sort of curious if having played, you said yesterday, if the skill level had sort of increased enough that
Yeah,
it
but
felt better.
now the players are kind of good. I mean, those guys I play against, I don't know if
Yeah.
they're really good, but they're way better than me. But I just don't feel, I don't know, motivated to start learning StarCraft again. And I don't even have the mechanics needed for that anymore. I mean, I just don't. I don't feel. How should I say it? I don't feel good while playing StarCraft 2.
Do you play any Brood War still?
No,
Oh.
because I quit in like 2007, 2008. I don't remember anymore, and I was actually quite decent with the game, and I wanted to try Brood War, and I did install ECUP and stuff like that. And when I logged on, I got so raped that I didn't want to play anymore. So it was kind of too hard for a game that's been dying and that died officially now with next OSL being StarCraft 2. So I just don't feel. I just don't see why I should play the game anymore, for except for maybe fun.
Right. Yeah, I guess I was just curious if after not having that motivating feeling or not having that satisfaction after trying out StarCraft, if you had gone back to Brood War and if that had quality had still been there, or if that had just
Yeah,
left
Brood
you
War.
completely.
Yeah, Brood War has that quality, but I don't have that quality anymore. And in my opinion, getting raped in Brood War is the worst thing that can happen in online gaming. It's just so it's humiliating. No matter that you can GG out of the game after 5 minutes, it's still too humiliating to play. So it's more hardcore than Quake.
Right.
So and I think it would take me at least a year to get back into Brood War again, and I don't really feel like I'm up for that anymore.
Mm. Fair enough.
I'm gonna just stick to Quake and see what happens.
Well, two things really on that note. One of them being on a we'll start with a lesser note and end on a high note
Okay.
for this last half, for this first half. Um, as you mentioned, sort of Brood War Brood War is really dying and transitioning to StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
And if Quake were to die out as well, would you see yourself moving to it? Is there another game out there you'd want to be involved competitively in, or would you sort of just find something else, something maybe non-gaming related?
I don't know. I like Dota 2 at the moment.
Okay.
So maybe that, but I don't think I play any other FPS other than Quake. I've seen, for example, this new game, Shotmania. I've seen the videos, and the game seems retarded. But I don't see myself playing that game at all. I don't see myself playing any other game than Quake. I mean, being a shooter.
Is there, other than say another sequel to Quake, is there something? Is there a shooter out there that you can imagine that's not Quake that you would play? Like, is there something like Shoot Mania? If it had X, Y, and Z, it would be playable. Do you have that in mind?
I have no idea. I never gave thought to it actually
Sure.
until now. So maybe if id Software decides to make Quake 5, I'll probably play it if Too Good's game happens. I mean, I know he was trying to collect money for his shooter game and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
it didn't work out because the companies, as he said, the companies that wanted to give him money wanted to give him 100 million for an MMO, but not 2 million for an FPS. So I don't know. Maybe if someone like that makes a game, which it would be a good game. I mean, by default, Too Good is an old Quake player, and I'm pretty sure could uh, he could be successful with a new FPS game if he were to make one with his partners. Maybe I'd give it a try then. But something like Shoot Mania or Modern Warfare or Battlefield, that just doesn't interest me. I mean,
Right.
I don't like realism in a video game, I guess.
Well, to end on a high note, and then to go into just one or two questions here in chat.
Okay.
Sort of moving forward this year, what would you like to see the Quake scene do, or have, or how would you like to see it evolve, continue to change?
Well, I would love to see a major tournament other than QuakeCon and DreamHack Winter and Summer. Yes, DreamHack Summer is starting soon, but I'd love to see another major tournament. Maybe if ESL does something again for Quake. Who knows? Carmack is a Quake fan. Anything can happen. But other than major lands and it actually doing some major work on the game. I mean, the game is played in the web browser, but it has 1% of features it could have. I mean, it's completely unused potential, and if I'd prefer it fixing that stuff than any major tournaments. But yeah, in the close future, I'm gonna watch DreamHack, I'm gonna watch QuakeCon, I'm gonna go watch DreamHack again, and then I have no idea what will I do till next June and DreamHack again if something doesn't happen, something positive.
Well, yeah, we do have to take a break soon, but then there are a couple more questions coming in. But real quick before that, oh, why the question completely left my head. You were talking about Quake and about what you'd like to see. You mentioned the untapped potential. Can you give me maybe one or two examples of what a full game instead of just a browser-based game could have that would make it a better experience for you?
Well, to be honest, I think browser-based game has more potential than a full game.
Okay.
You could actually make something good out of that browser interface because you can connect with people more easy. So far, only thing out of the ordinary, out of the friend list, and that Quake supports is, I guess, Facebook integration. So that's really a silly move. I don't know. I'd love to see, for example, matchmaking made on the web page, some sort of ladder or tourney system made on the web page. I mean, it's internet. It's in a web browser. You can do virtually anything you want, and I have no idea why they haven't done it. What's the worst part? The game actually had matchmaking in closed beta, and they removed it for some reason. I'm not too familiar why, but it doesn't make any sense to me that you would remove a strong selling point of the game just like that.
Right.
But
Yeah.
maybe they just don't have enough people to work on it, which is also possible. I don't know.
Fair enough. A couple questions here from chat real quick, and then we'll go to a quick a break. Firstly, Infernovan wants to know your thoughts on Counter-Strike, since it's still in that older shooter category.
Well, I think Counter-Strike community is extremely lucky to have a person like that millionaire Arbalest behind them that does the lands for them. But I think it's a good game. I never actually played it. I only watched it on Intel Extreme Masters, and I don't know. It kind of feels too campish. I mean, you just camp and wait. It kind of feels like that. But then I remember seeing some crack videos of Counter-Strike, and it was like a completely different side to Counter-Strike than what I was watching on Intel Extreme Masters, because you see those moves in slow motion, you actually see what the guy does precisely, and I was like blown away. I had no idea that they did actually stuff like that. So I don't know. I like the game so to watch, but to play, I don't see myself playing that as well.
Well, sort of a follow up to that on Counter-Strike, Inferno also was curious if you thought that Quake would benefit from the update that CS is getting, CSGO, the global offensive, and or if you think that sort of Quake Live is going to be the long term, the thing we've got long term.
Thing is, Quake Live is that update like CSGO is. I mean, Quake Live is actually a bit reworked Quake 3 and put into a web browser interface. So basically, it was supposed to be that update that would bring the game to a new level and get tons of people to play it, but unfortunately it didn't happen. I don't know why. I didn't see much reviews of the game aside from random YouTube channels. I didn't see any advertising, to be honest, about the game. That ad revenue model completely failed, where they show you ads in game and stuff like that. But yeah, I think Quake Live was supposed to be that update CSGO is. I have no idea if CSGO is any popular though. I'd have to check that out. Maybe if I get a beta key.
Sure. I mean, I know I've at least heard a lot more about it than I did when Quake Live was going around. So, but I don't know if that's that same hype is still the case for Geo. But I do remember them doing a fairly strong marketing push, at least towards the beginning.
Well, actually, I remember, yeah, for Geo, there was this RC key giveaway, and that was completely rigged. I think they gave out the beta keys to different nicks, but with same IP address. You know, we checked and we were like, what the fuck? why are you stealing the beta keys, you stupid admins? But they didn't seem to care, I guess. So that's kind of when my interest about CSGO vanished. And to be honest, I can't really play much of these new games because I'm in Linux and not every game supports it. And fortunately for me, Quake does, but I don't know for Counter-Strike or any other.
Right. Well, if I can ask one question, then we will go to a break.
Okay.
You have a couple minutes to take a quick smoke and get a drink.
Nice.
If CS:GO, so if Quake were to die off and CS:GO were to still be here and they were supported on Linux, do you think you might move to that shooter, or is it still just too different from Quake? Does it just still not have the appeal that Quake does?
I definitely tried just for the sake of it being available on Linux, because I mean native games for Linux are a complete rarity. So I'd try anything that was native for Linux. So yeah, I definitely tried, and who knows, maybe I'd like it, maybe I wouldn't. We'll see.
Fair point. I don't actually know if it's supported by Linux, but I was just curious. Alright, so guys, we're talking with CSN's Vid Maric. I know I messed it up again.
Yeah,
CSN's Vid. Talking with CSN's Vid. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking to Vid about more just about himself, hobbies, enjoyments, what he's doing right now. He's a student. He's got finals tomorrow, so we'll ask him a little bit about that. But we'll take probably a 2-3 minute break-ish, and then we'll be back. So, talk to you guys in a second.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go for a smoke then.
Yep.
So, see you soon.
And we'll give it to you in Skype right here. Alright guys, give me just 1 second. We are back. I'm getting Vid a link to our stream. Alright, so this is the second half, and we're going to be talking to Vid about himself.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll get to games as well, but I know you're a student, so I'm being nosy. I'm curious where you're studying and what year you are.
Well, at the moment I'm studying in my hometown, Zagreb. I'm a student of third year of Economics and Management University. I should have been finished by now, but thing is, StarCraft Brood War happened, so I flopped a year. Then Quake happened, so I flopped 3 years, and now I'm finally moving somewhere and getting close to finish it only. Yeah, this is the end of third year, so fourth and eventually fifth year. Hopefully I'm gonna go abroad and study somewhere else.
Where would you want to study abroad?
Actually, um, I like the idea of Moscow, Japan, or I don't know, maybe even France. I guess
Hmm.
not that sure about it. There's still
Sure.
France.
I'm just, Korea, is that on the list at all?
No, because I don't know why. I actually never gave it a thought, but
Hmm.
thing is, with my college, I pay the university money in my hometown, and if I
Right.
want to go abroad that year, I can go wherever I want, with the colleges they work with. So I don't think my university has any partnership with Korean colleges, universities.
Right. Okay. I was just curious with the Brood War, the love of Brood War, that Brood War connection to Korea.
Yeah, it would be fun, but I doubt my university has any partnerships there. So
Right.
far, only in Florida, Germany, France, Russia, Japan. I don't know, maybe some other places, Spain, yeah, and I think that's about it. Not too sure. Oh, and Mexico, yeah.
Hmm. And I know you said you weren't too sure. Are you leaning a little more towards one country than the other yet?
I prefer Russia. I don't know why, but it seems Moscow just fascinates me, to be honest. When I see all those pictures, and it's like brilliant.
Would you? So would you think you might do that if you could do it? I know that this is really uncertain. Do you think it'd be next year or the fifth year?
Depends how much exams I have left when I enroll to fourth year. Because if I don't clear up all my stuff now, I'll probably have to do it next semester. So mm, the real possibility would be 2013. I don't know if summer semester or fall semester, but if I'm gonna go then, I guess.
Well, what did you why did you choose your major? What was the inspiration or the reasoning behind that?
Well, we don't really have a major yet because it's kind of stupid system in Croatia, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
For 4 years, you learn about everything economics related, and then on the fifth year, you actually get to pick your major. But I think I'll pick my major in finances and banking. I mean, investment banking and finances really interest me, so we'll see what happens.
To some of us, finances and banking might seem like the the most dry topic ever. So why is it interesting to you? Make me
uh,
excited about it.
well, I've always been good with numbers, and math, and basically, if I have to do math and deal with numbers, I don't have to study so much theory. So that's my logic. I don't have to pick up a book of, I don't know, 500 pages and learn most of it by heart. I just I just get to know a few assignments and make them work, and I don't know. It's fun for me.
Fair enough. I mean, that makes sense. I hadn't thought of it that way, but yeah. All right.
Yeah, thing with me is I try my best to study the least. So doing math and similar stuff kind of fits in the description.
I definitely don't think you're alone there. Do you have? I know again you said that you don't technically have a major yet, but at least in terms of economics
Okay.
and finance, do you have an idea of how you want to apply that already in a job, or just see what comes?
I think I'll see what comes because in Croatia there's this situation that you actually can't pick your job yet. I mean, it's really shit. A lot of unemployed people. Economics crisis in the country never actually ended, and we're entering a second one. So I don't know. We'll see what will happen. But if I
Would you?
really get to pick what I want to do, it would be something with I don't know, financial markets and stuff like that.
Hmm. Would you? if you're looking for a job and you can't find one in your country, would you be up for moving, doing taking a job outside the country, or do you want to work, where you live?
No, I don't have any problem with going abroad and working there. Why not? If they pay me good, and if I get a chance to progress, why not? I mean, but to be honest, if I got the same job in Croatia and I got the opportunity to go somewhere abroad, but for more money, I think I'd stay in Croatia. I don't know why, but it wouldn't make a big difference for me. But if I, for example, if I got offered in Croatia to do something I don't want to work, but I mean, for a start, I'd work there, and if I got the opportunity to go somewhere abroad and work something I want to work from start, I definitely go abroad. I mean, it's just about my ambitions and fulfilling them, I guess.
That makes perfect sense.
No.
And I know a little bit earlier in our conversation. Also, guys, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll get to them. We probably got about 10-15 minutes left, so towards the end of that, we'll get to any questions you have. They can be Quake related, StarCraft, Brood War related, or they can be asked. They can be about just Vid himself. But Vid, I'm curious. I know you mentioned esports, competitive gaming, whatever you want to call it, being more just a hobby for you. But have you ever thought about, or you contemplated on the possibility of putting together Quake with finance? Finding something there.
Well, I wouldn't want to make it a full-time job because I know esports market depends on game publishers and what game they put out next. So I don't feel like if I actually like a game, for example, let it be StarCraft 2, if I actually like the game, I don't see it staying anywhere in the next 3-4 years, I guess.
Mm.
And I wouldn't want to be in the esports just for the sake of it. I'd like to work on a game I love playing, And if I was forced to go work on some game like Modern Warfare, I think I'd go insane. Yeah.
No, I mean that's perfectly
I don't know.
legitimate.
It's
Yeah.
unreliable for me, that esports market. It just depends on game publishers. All those new games, they don't even have a chance to live, in my opinion. It's just a matter of time when the sequel is made with even better graphics and I don't know what not, and everyone moves to that because I guess you can't sell i5 processors on games like while marketing them on games like Brood War and Quake. So yeah.
If there was if more stability were to appear in the market, if let's just take for a second the third expansion of StarCraft 2 comes out.
Yeah.
It's Legacy of the Void, and 6 years later it's still going. That's still going strong. If that sort of stability started appearing, would you be more interested in trying to find a game you like, or would it still be just too unstable for you? I guess. Sorry, if let me rephrase the question, because I think it's a bad way. I put it a bad way. Do you think that competitive gaming as we know it can be stable, or is it always going to be about that next prettier game, the game with better graphics and more effects?
Yeah, you see, I have no idea, to be honest.
Okay.
I thought it will. I thought Brood War will stay for more than a decade, but just a moment, my cat is going insane. I have to let it out of the house.
Fair enough. Guys, while Vid goes and takes care of his cat so it doesn't go crazy, again, if you have questions, go ahead and put them up. We're talking to Vid now in the second half just about himself, his interests, his school, his plans after graduation. In the first half, if you missed it, but you want to try and catch the VOD later when we put it up, we talked to him more about Quake, asked him a little about the storylines within Quake, some of the highlights for him of Quake, where he'd like to see Quake go, and then we also talked some about Brood War because of his interest in Brood War and similar questions there, sort of his experiences with the game and why he loves it, why he finds it enjoyable to watch, how someone who's new to the game, just really hearing about it for the first time or just getting interested how they can get themselves started. So go check if you want to hear about that part. Go check that out in a second when the VOD goes up.
Okay, so I'm back. Sorry, my
Not a
cat
problem.
can be annoying at times. So where were we? I don't know. I actually thought, yeah, Brood War will last, and Brood War did last for quite some time, considering it's a video game,
Yeah.
But I don't think, I don't think any other game can repeat that. I mean, Brood War was not planned. It was just luck that it happened. Right place, right time, and it exploded. So I don't think any other game can do that. But who knows? Let's hope.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Yeah. If any other game would be so close to becoming an actual sport like Brood War, then yeah, I would be up for it 100%. But I don't know. The way things are now, it, not really.
Fair enough. I guess I was just really curious to get your perspective because you've been with Quake and you've been with Brood War and
Yeah.
you've been in the scene for a little bit. And you've seen a lot. And I guess the other reason I was asking is it both games that you've mentioned have Quake is still ongoing and Brood War is dying but was going for quite a while, but they're both games where the graphics aren't what's important. The graphics aren't why people
Yeah.
people start playing. So I was sort of curious, considering those are you love both of those games, if you thought we could ever see that again, or if you think it's really just going to become a big part of it's going to be about the graphics.
Yeah, I hope we can see a game like that, but I don't know, probably not. I mean, most people play games because they enjoy the graphics and stuff like that, not for the competitive aspect. I mean, that's at least my opinion. I might be 100% wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I said something completely stupid. But yeah, it's not about the graphics. It's more like why I love football. Same reason why I love Brood War or Quake. I guess that's more of a better description of what I had in mind. Mm, I don't want to. I'm not interested in working at esports because I think sooner or later I'd have to move on to something that I don't like doing, and that would be just horrible.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a perfect. I mean, it's a perfectly legitimate concern. I'm impressed with the long-term thinking. I think a lot of people who get into trying to break into the scene are like, I really love StarCraft 2, and I want to, it's everything to me, and I'm gonna make it my career. But they don't think about, what happens if StarCraft 2 doesn't have that longevity. What happens if StarCraft 2 falls out of favor? Where do you go next?
Yeah, in the
So
end,
it's just
it's very realistic. You get stuck with a game that you don't like, that you play just because you have to play it, and that's really not an option for me. I mean, I think there's bigger competition to become good and make a living out of StarCraft than in football, because everyone has a computer and everyone can play StarCraft, and there's so many good players, and there will be so many good players. I think that it's just too hard to be at top and to do same thing constantly enough to make a living outside of Korea. That is
right. That caveat is
like,
important.
I was like blown out when I was reading in 2005 that Reach got a salary of $300,000 for playing Brood War. I was like, Jesus, man, what the fuck is this? I want to go to Korea. Then I started playing Brood War, and after 2 years, reality hit me. It's not going anywhere aside from getting with no college and job in the worst scenario.
Yeah, I mean, people like Flash, like Reach, like Jaedong and Bisu making a lot of money, but
Yeah.
they're only a couple players out of the the many.
Well, yeah, but thing is, Brood War was a real sport there, I guess. I
Hmm.
mean, at least perceived as that. The streams had countless of viewers. The live event had tons of viewers. I mean, like I said, 2005 Pro League final had 20 or 30,000 people in the stand, more than Super Bowl had. So that's insane.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see a repeat of that soon.
Yeah, let's hope.
All right. So, in closing here, we've got the big four that we want to touch on: movies, music, books, and food. And then after that, we'll do shout outs and wrap
Okay.
up. But let's start with movies. Give
Hmm.
us either favorite movie, or if that's too much, maybe the favorite recent movie.
Well, I think one of my favorite movies of all time was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro. That was a real experience for me to watch. But as far as recent movies go, I don't know. I actually don't. I actually didn't watch a good movie lately. I just downloaded Iron Sky, so who knows? Maybe that will be good. But what I'm following recently is Game of Thrones, and that's really nice, immense storyline, and the epic series.
Did you read the books, or are you just watching the series?
No, I didn't read the books, unfortunately. I started watching the series, and then I got stuck with series. And if I were to read the book, apparently there's a lot of things different. At least what people who read the books told me. So I don't know. I don't like the idea of reading the books now and getting everything mixed up in my head when I compare it to the series. Maybe some other time later when the series are complete and when I can read the book in peace without having any new episode coming out and completely ruining my memories of what happened in the book. Same thing occurred to me with Lord of the Rings, I guess. I read the
Hmm.
books and I found some mismatches, and then I wasn't sure which one was right. Well, was I right? Was it in the book? Or was the movie right? Was I wrong about the book? And I had insane dilemmas about that until I picked up the books again and started trying to find those mismatches.
Right. Oh, those are really frustrating.
Uh, but to be honest, I'm quite surprised how good HBO did at those series. I mean, CGI is amazing. The cast is great. The only one who's annoying is I know that Jon Snow character. He seems out of place, completely out of place, and he seems so poorly acted that it's not even fun to watch. But the rest of it is spot on.
Yeah, that's no character. He's something.
Yeah.
Well, what about music? Second of the big four. What music? Is there a favorite band or song
Uh,
you'd recommend to us?
well, recently I even started listening to dubstep, even though I didn't like dubstep, but a lack of new and good drum and bass kind of forced me onto it. I like psytrance and stuff like that. My favorite band definitely is The Prodigy, and I was on their live show and it was amazing. I also like Pendulum was on their live show as well, also amazing live show. As far as new songs, I don't know. Lately, everything new I listened to was from Skrillex, so uh, I don't know. Must be something from him, but I don't really remember. Let me check my music player. Maybe something something is there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Um, well, while you're looking through music, maybe also start thinking about any good books or favorite books that you
Um,
have.
okay, gonna take a look at my bookshelf now. Well, I have a lot of Stephen King books. I have Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Guy Gabriel Kay. I have a lot of fantasy books actually. It always, I don't know, it's kind of nice for me to read that. My brain is relaxing and I'm thinking about elves and shit like that. But actually, mainly because of college, I don't read books that much. I mostly read some business literature to stay informed, because the way our classes are concentrated, uh, we talk with our professors, on every class, what's new in the world, what's happening, why do you think this, that, and it gives you a lot of extra points. So I'm trying to read that kind of stuff instead of regular books and shit. So yeah, but I don't even actually have a book that I want to read. Too bad. I used to read a lot of books before. I think my favorite one was yeah, Kafka, but I don't know what's the name of the book on English. So let me check out. Google it.
What happens in the story, or at least like can you give us a quick summary or introduction?
Basically, this guy wakes up and some people pick him up and take him to the court, and he doesn't know what is going on, and at the end of the book they take him out of town and kill him. But the book is really interesting. Let me just, yeah, I need to find the English Wikipedia. Croatian one is not going to help.
The name, I'm trying to remember the name myself, and it's not coming to me.
What? The Trial is that book.
Okay, yep.
Trial, and there's this one other book where a guy thinks he's a roach because everyone treats him like a roach. I don't know what's the English name.
I think that might be Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
true. It's Metamorphosis.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's kind of a nice book as well. I really enjoyed reading that. It's out of the standard stuff I had to read during high school. So it really kept in my memory, unlike most of other stuff.
Right. Well, to wrap up real quick, well,
Okay.
sort of real quick, because food is never a quick topic, but tell us, maybe let's start with your favorite kind of food and then a favorite dish in particular.
Well, definitely spaghetti, bolognese. I think that's the only food I can pick out from the rest. I mean, from normal dishes, from fast food, I like, how's it called? Yeah, kebab. I guess you have it there. Wait, I'll write in the chat if I kebab
Yeah,
and
kebab. Yeah.
cevapi, which I don't know what's the English word for that.
What kind of food is it?
It's kind of minced meat, grilled with those bread loaves. Wait, I'll give you a picture.
Okay. I love pictures of food.
Yeah, it's a really, really a fantastic dish. Wait. Okay, here it is. That's like one of my favorites as well.
Alright, I'm gonna pull this up and wow. That looks delicious.
Yeah, that's
okay,
really
so
good.
it's, to me, if I'm looking at this correctly, I'll try and describe it. It sort of looks like it looks like Gimbe's gonna bring it up. Awesome. It looks like what I might think of as like a pita bread type, like a pocket, a dough pocket with uh, really delicious looking grilled meat
Yeah.
and onions, and there it is. It's
Yeah,
not up on the
true.
screen. Wow, that looks.
Their tournament run with. So I was really surprised when I heard the new gaming league is gonna throw money at Quake. I was like, wow, that's good. That's nice to see Quake has fans still. So yeah, that's about it. All the shoutouts I've mentioned. Yeah, Demon, Genetics, Maki, Voodoo, and other people. I can't remember everyone now. Oh yeah, and the guys from my own City of Clan called What's Going On, especially Python, Hanti, and Kazuya. So, and hopefully we win clan base this season. If Kazuya fucks up, he's gonna get kicked from the clan.
Uh-oh.
I said it on stream, so he better watch out.
Well, for people who want to follow you, keep up with what you're doing, keep up with what's going on, is there a way they can do that?
Unfortunately, I don't use Twitter. I use Facebook only for college purposes. But
Gotcha.
I'm on QuakeNet RC
Okay.
in Play Quake channel, in CSN.QL channel, to name a few. And my nickname there is ESDF. So,
Yes.
and sometimes it's Vid, but mostly ESDF, as it was my original name in Quake, I guess.
Well, there you go, guys. So if you wanna, talk to Vid more, if you wanna hear more stories, if you wanna get his thoughts on the scene, or just chat with him, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. And if you want to play Quake, www.quakelive.com and hop on and have some fun.
I think I might have to do that. I know I'm gonna get wrecked, but I think it'll still be fun.
It pays out.
All right. Well, Vid, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, and best of luck to SGL in your further events. And hopefully you'll like to do a thing with CSN again.
Oh, I think talk to Gimbe. We'll see what he says, but I'm pretty sure that's in the works. And best of luck to you and to the Quake scene.
Thanks.
Uh, guys, thanks for watching. Just to give you a quick heads up, next week we're going to be talking with Infinity 7. Right now we've got J Echo and Pyre lined up. The week after we've got Frodan, so we'll be talking with the CST2 caster. And then at the beginning of July, we're looking to talk to one of the scientists for that StarCraft 2 study that's been going on for a little while about looking to correlate. I believe it's looking at replays and seeing if you can make any correlations between skill level and certain decision making. But I have to refresh myself on that. We will be talking with someone from that study. The results are being processed now, so hopefully by the time we talk with them, first week of July, we'll be able to hear what the results are. Last thing real quick, for anyone who does tune in regularly, obviously thank you very much. We are moving to Tuesdays now. That's our new time, Tuesdays, 5 p.m. EST, so we're just moving a day over. That allows us not to conflict with JoJo's In the Spotlight, another fantastic show. It also gives us a little more time to prep and get everything going. So, we'll let you guys know a little later in the week about Infinity 7 again, and we'll catch you later. Thanks, guys.
See y'all.